Hello, everybody. Welcome to Sour Hour with me, Matt, and my co-host Tom.
How's it going?
There we go. See, it was almost you could almost understand that.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Recently, my speech, I feel like I've got a speech impediment recently.
I
Like,
think it's just that everyone's just got to this point out there where they just like can't be asked to do anything. It's like get out of bed, speak, fucking interact with humans. It's like it's too hard now. But yeah, today we are joined by a very special guest. You may know him already. We're joined by OJ Simpson. Say hello, OJ.
Hello, I
Just to
killed
make-
my wife.
Does the glove still fit?
My wife.
My wife. But yeah, seriously, we're here today with Hot Paper Comics, also known as Martin Rosner. You may know him as one or the other, depending when you met him or when you saw his stuff first. I think I knew you as Hot Paper Comics first, because I remember seeing your stuff quite a lot on just random websites across the internet, like is it Bob Panda and stuff like that? I think that's where the first where I started seeing your stuff. So I think it's people like sharing your stuff. And I don't think it was until I started like Instagram that I like actually kind of met you through this circle of webcomic jerkery.
You know the thing I do? I call it jerkery. So
So like I was gonna say basically just in general, like how are you doing? People probably want to know, like, everyone's been in lockdown, people have had their own things trying to deal with work and whatnot. How's everything been for you?
first thing first, I'm from Croatia. We've kind of dealt with lockdown around May, so I've been had a lot of free time. Though are having a second wave at the moment, so lockdown isn't that strict, but you still have to wear masks, and people are for the most part okay with it. So we don't have like crazy people coughing at others and such.
Yeah.
yeah.
So I've mostly been able to enjoy life as I usually do, except when I go shopping, I wear a mask, and it's kind of risky to go to the gym. So I try to go like at evenings where there's nobody else there. That's
Yeah.
basically it. Otherwise, pretty normal stuff.
Oh, nice. Yeah, it's definitely like I don't think it's much of a change in general. It's just these like micromanagements, isn't it, on top of what you usually do? It just kind of it just don't know. It's more of an inconvenience, isn't it? You're just hoping people abide by it as well, because we've seen a fair few countries that really do not want to listen.
Yeah, some small countries there.
Yeah.
As long as you're not from the UK and you're not from America, I think it's mainly everyone agrees.
Yeah. Oh God, the idiots that you get over here. Yeah.
It's kind of a good thing because I get to remove a lot of it's kind of like filtered through the idiots that I have. Like,
Yeah.
Or following me, and it comes up on my feed, and then as soon as I see something like that, I'm like, oh, you're an idiot. I don't have to follow you.
Yeah, it's a universal filter, isn't it? Like
Yeah.
it's kind of like everyone saying like you see everyone and they're like, hey, how are you? And now they're going, hey, I don't wear a mask. I want to kill people. And you're like, all right, probably don't want to associate with you. Bye.
It's for making things easy. It's like
Yeah, it's like you just get to know people, like their mentality more than ever. So it is a good thing. It's the whole what do you call it? The dilution of the gene pool. So you can.
you guys have it easy. Basically, here I completely avoid like. Well, when it comes to Corona, it's been okay, but political talk, people get very angry. I think everybody gets very angry, but it's just the level of anger rises faster here. That's my kind of taking things.
Yeah, they have it here as well. Like we do get people get really angry about it. Someone I went to the shops the other day and someone shouted abuse at me because I was wearing a mask. I was like,
really?
Yeah. Someone shouted at me, was shouting shit at me and threatening me, and I just ignored him because I was like, all right, well done you.
What are you in? That sounds like you're in Netto or something.
I was coming out of Asda. I was coming out of Asda, yeah, just going across the car park, and
yeah, I guess that's kind of like working class. You've got like a mix.
Yeah, it was just two meatheads. They were just, everything they communicate is like, I punch you, I feel better, that type of thing. And I'm like, all right, okay, you do you.
I feel like if you were in like Waitrose, you'd probably have no problems. But if you went to, like the lower shops, like Poundland or something, I feel like that's when the problems arise.
Yeah, I get. It sounds like you're being classist, but yeah, I get what you mean. Like there is like certain areas where you're going to get it more than other. I think it's just.
No, it's not being classist. It's just saying that
Oh, yeah, no, I
economic
know, yeah.
disparity leads to a lack of education. He's just basically
Yeah,
criticizing
yeah, yeah.
capitalism, not the people.
Yeah, I know. I'm only messing with him. Yeah, it's just.
I'm just gonna thank Tom for your input. That was very brave of you to say. Fighting against the system. You go, brother.
Yeah, you can hate the poor as much as you want. It's not going to change who you are on the
And that's not
inside.
true. I'm not the one shopping at Waitrose. I wish I could shop at Waitrose.
I like even if I could, even if like, I mean, I could, but I probably wouldn't want to. It's just a waste of money. It's like I'd rather go to Asda and get like a 10p noodles and go home and sit and eat that.
Mate,
I'm like,
have you ever
oh,
tried £5 instant noodles, mate?
£5 instant noodles. I've
Yeah,
never.
it goes Waitrose, mate. It's just another level.
Jesus, are they
10
good?
different kinds of butter,
10 cans of butter, like nice. It's one for each part of your body.
literally.
Yeah, butter yourself up.
I'm having trouble following thing, but you're talking about grocery stores, right?
Yeah. So, like in England, the most popular ones are probably Asda, Tesco, Morrison's, and then you've got like like kind of the cheaper end, which is like Lidl, Aldi, and then Waitrose and Marks and Spencers are like our high end type of stuff where you pay about 2 to 3 times as much as you normally would do, but the food quality is meant to be better. It's that type of thing. Like I assume like you have your similar type of thing in Croatia, right?
No, in Croatia we just have fields. We steal from the rich, and
The days of old, I miss those. Yeah.
we do have like grocery stores. It's but it's mostly.
I didn't mean like not the grocery stores.
No, it's okay. Yeah. Yeah, I was just gonna say we don't really have one that's like for rich people. It's basically all the same. Even Lidl is at the same level as everything else.
I think like Lidl and I think Lidl's like a European one, isn't it? Like
Yeah, it's I think Germany.
Yeah, I think so. They own like so. I found out they own so many like supermarkets. I didn't even know. Yeah,
they're coming from the bottom, aren't they? Just sort of like bottom feeding, and then they get bigger and bigger.
Yeah, they're going to take everyone's food source away, and then they can just threaten to take it away from everyone when they need to. Like,
little did you know, Aldi owns Waitrose.
They'll never find me in the fields.
Raw.
That's what you think.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just dig a burrow beneath the corn. Nobody expects the mole man beneath the corn.
You'll get attacked by like a bear trap, and then on the side it'll be like property and owned by Aldi and Lidl.
Sorry, I've got the iPhone Find My Field app. I'll find you.
Martin, where are you at? How are the field, Jones?
Support your local.
He's in a field nearby, 500 kilometers away. Yeah.
Martin, how does new burrow going on? It's just like so spacious. I would love to have you and Pam come over.
So
whereabouts in Croatia are you based?
I'm basically to the far east. I'm at the border with Hungary and Serbia.
Ah, okay.
So I'm not at the fancy sea places. No,
No.
I open my window and I see giant mosquitoes. It's like that's. I live in the swamplands.
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 I'm trying to think, because it thins out Croatia, isn't it? It's sort of like really big, and it just sort of like where Bosnia is, it just sort of like cuts them off from the ocean.
Yeah, exactly.
So the Bosnians can't actually go swimming. Like Croatia is like, no, you've got to pay us to go swimming.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, man, that was not cool of us. But they still got to pay, so I am the CEO of Croatia, so.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, okay, yeah.
They got to pay.
I got burrows to make. Those ain't cheap.
I know Tom, you was like, because Tom went, he was saying like you went to like Croatia, and you told me about the whole thing about like the coastline, just the way like it cuts off. And it's like, yeah, it is. It's like putting a condom over half the country and going like, oh no, you have to pay for entry, like
Yeah, like when I was going through, we had to go through the only way we could get to. I've forgotten the big city now where we went to. What's it called again? Game of Thrones place.
Dubrovnik.
Dubrovnik, yes. So we went to Dubrovnik from like a smaller island where we went to a festival. We were going to Dubrovnik and we had to go through the border like once or twice, like dip in and out. And like every time they stopped us, because we were a coach full of tourists, pretty much. And he'd always look at me, and if you knew me, you'd know that I don't do anything weird or anything dodgy. And he, in front of a coach full of drug addicts and like pissheads, he came to me every time and he'd ask me, sort of like, oh, do I need to search your bag or anything? Do I need to search you for drugs? And I was like, literally anybody else on this bus and you'd hit jackpot, but literally not with me. So yeah, that was fun.
Maybe he was just trying to prove a point, like, guys, everybody here is equal. This
Yeah.
man right here,
I guess you're right.
no better than you.
Yeah, and then he didn't find anything. It's all good. He was looking in the wrong places.
Yeah.
I think maybe you take it the wrong way. Maybe he was like trying to become friends, or he was hitting on you.
Yeah, maybe. I mean,
I don't know you, Tom, but by your voice, I can tell that you're a very handsome man.
I'm blushing so hard right now.
I know, I can hear it. Your cheeks are radiating, vibrating even.
All right, now I've got a boner. Let's stop.
Yeah, he takes the Hunchback for Notre Dame a run for his money. He's got lumps for days.
Lumps for days. I'd see a doctor for that, but okay.
You know what, right? I said this to Tom before. Have you watched Stranger Things?
Yeah, but I still haven't watched the final episode of season 3. I don't know why. I just never did.
Have you seen Billy? The one that gets possessed. He's like the brother. He's meant to be the cool dude that drives the car and drops his sister.
The one who wants to bang the mom character.
Yeah. Tom is like almost identical to that guy. Like it's very peculiar. He's like a slimmed down version of him.
Well, Tom, I didn't know you were the man of my dreams, but congratulations.
I would rather sway my opinion over Stranger Things. I think I'm more of a Red Power Ranger than Billy from Stranger Things. Like nobody comes up to me and says, "Oh, you're the Red Power Ranger from Power Rangers. You're Billy from Stranger Things." Oh, so I'm not chiseled and I've got a mullet. Brilliant, cheers.
Everybody wants a mullet. Only the
apparently
brave have it.
It's coming back into fashion.
I don't get that. Like I naturally, my hair at the back grows way too quick, so I can grow a mullet in I can go to bed, have a bald head, and wake up with a mullet. It's really annoying.
Nothing else is great. And you got stubble on the rest of your head, but the back end, it's just
it grows out. It is I don't know. It just feels like at night someone's pushing down on my head. There's Play-Doh sets that push out the strings of Play-Doh. Yeah. It's kind of like that, and my hair comes out as a mullet. So I don't know who keeps coming into the bedroom and doing that, but
I bet it's your mom. She just likes you when you have your hair that way.
Yeah, it just comes all the way over 60 miles across the country and just squeezes my head at night.
I mean, that's not a lot. What, that's 45 minutes by car?
Yeah, 45 minutes, an hour roughly, around about there, yeah. So
I can see her doing that.
I mean, mums do care at the end of the day. I do wake up with a headache, so it does explain quite a lot, I'll be honest with you.
She's part of the big old secret club.
Yeah.
Moms for mullets.
The secret society for mullets, yeah. That'd be amazing. I really do wish I had a Play-Doh head. It's just, anytime you wanted to grow your hair out in a different way, you just squeeze your head and it just comes out.
I guess I gotta apologize. I don't know how I started the conversation in this way, but...
It's a great conversation. So yeah, we've gone on one hell of a tangent. So that brings me actually to the point. So one thing we wanted to do, I discussed with you previously, was the biggest theme and kind of the running point of the podcast was to have the guest pick a subject and then we just roll with that subject. So is there anything specifically what's the theme for today? Is it potatoes? Is it
apparently
alcoholic dwarfs?
Okay, I do like talking about the creative process. I like talking about mental health.
Ah, nice. Yeah, we can talk.
And I do like talking about. Yeah, that's basically my personality. Let's move on.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I just can't really come up with other things right at this moment.
Right, I get you. Yeah. I mean, again, we could talk about creative process. I mean, as I said, as yourself and I, we both do, webcomics and art stuff. Tom is actually a pro cocktail maker, so he has a lot of process that goes into making cocktails.
Wait, for real?
Yeah. You've won a few competitions now, haven't you?
None of the big ones. None of the big ones, unfortunately. I've gone to a couple of finals.
Oh, that's still amazing. Congratulations, man.
Thanks, man. I'm a professional babysitter of adults, mate. That's my job.
No, but seriously, you don't have to win these things to be great. It's still good. Even competing in the finals, that's pretty damn good.
I appreciate it. Yeah, thank you.
I remember when you won that huge. He won. They did a Karen thing, didn't you, at the bar? And that was amazing.
That was just a piss take.
Yeah, but it was good. It went to show how people worked under pressure.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was just I mean, Tom can basically like kind of take it away and like I mean, again, I guess we start with Tom with this. Like, what's like your process of putting together like cocktails? You know, say when you're creating something from scratch, you know,
Oh
like
yeah, do you like make up the menu?
I've created some menus and stuff when I was managing a bar. That Matt actually helped me work with as well.
I did, yeah. I used to work in
But
the bar.
he came in because I was like, "Ugh, I can't be bothered going through the creative process of building a bar team, so I just hired my friend Matt.
Hello.
So yeah, when I was creating like little menus for that, and I guess you start off with what the spirit is. You got to base everything around the spirit, I guess, and then it changes every now and again. So my mood at the time and what's the overall theme of the world at the moment of building it, and what's everyone enjoying at the minute. So I remember there was a big thing for like watermelon products because it was the summer, and space drinks, so like lots of prosecco and so I made like a watermelon spritz with like this Japanese whiskey. It was really nice.
Oh, was it sweet? Was it sour? What was the taste like?
Oh, I think I hate sweet drinks, like so I guess it was really dry, but you got a lot of like aroma from like the watermelon. The way I did it is I made what was it again? It was like a cordial, like a watermelon cordial. But working with watermelon is so hard because there's just fuck all in it. You open it up and you dehydrate the watermelon, and it's literally a shriveled up prune because it's just like 80% water. It's like a cucumber. so trying to get any kind of flavor out of anything.
So are like people come up to you and like, hey, want to come to my party? And they're just like trying to get you to make drinks for the evening.
Only my parents do that, to be honest. So,
boys and girls, this is my son. He's gonna get us fucked up.
literally, and then I do, and then I have to look after them.
I remember actually we were in the bar, weren't we? And your mum was sat at the end of the in the corner, and she was pissed. Yeah, and you were because I didn't know they were your parents, and then he was like, "Oh yeah, it's my parents' corner." I was like, "All right," and then yeah, that was quite funny.
What made you even get into drinks? Like,
oh, you just you start by not being good at anything else. So
webcomics, same.
Yeah. It's a party up in here.
Not left is to go into the local boozer and start working there, and then you just pick up like a sort of habit of hobby whilst doing it, and then.
But still, it's amazing that you like went from like just doing it to actually competing in the finals of certain competitions and even winning some of the smaller ones.
Yeah, so I've been winging it since '94. There's no really directory of where I'm going. It's just winging it. And
Wait,
I feel like
how old are you about?
Well, so I say that again.
How old are you?
I'm 26.
26, man, you're old. You're ancient.
Yeah.
Just kidding. I'm 25.
Oh, right. Okay. When's your birthday?
30th of December.
Wow. That's
yeah, it sucks. Birthday. I only get Christmas. Nobody remembers my birthday. My birthday. Sorry.
Oh, well, I guess you got like a week of just doing nothing but partying. I guess you got Christmas, you got New Year's. Can't wait for New Year's this year.
Yeah, there's a few things. I mean, again, I guess one of the best things is you get like the money and whatever for Christmas. I mean, I don't know if it's the same thing in Croatia, but a really common thing in England is a lot of time we just don't get presents. They just send us money and say just buy whatever you want. So
yeah, when we get lazy, it's like that. But now I have a niece. She's a year and a half, and it's like I can't give her money. She'll eat it.
Yeah. So, I mean,
Dom, could you recommend me a drink for a baby?
Ooh, is she a vegetarian? Is she vegan?
I've seen her eat grass at one point, but I don't think so.
Yeah, that's pretty vegan, mate. That one.
Could make a white Russian with breast milk.
Yeah, there we go. I'll just put absinthe and overproof rum with a bit of milk and grass. There we go. Shake that, put that in the microwave, ready to go.
Baby cocktails, that would be like an interesting one. I mean, you obviously you could make mocktails for him. That would be quite. Yeah. I think they prefer their own little juice and mummy's titties. Those are usually the two go-tos.
Yeah, but you gotta get it started with the good stuff. It's like I want to be the cool uncle.
You want to be the cool uncle.
So,
Yeah.
so is she sucking on your tits or?
Oh no, yeah, my
Okay.
nipples are, geez, dude, swollen.
Gotta pick out the hairs every now and again.
Oh yeah, I gotta shave it before, because
You
I
gotta
know
shave before.
presentation is important.
Yeah.
Manscaping.
Oh god, manscaping.
I'm basically just one whole smooth skinned man.
It's
You're a
like,
baby yourself.
I'm a baby myself. You don't even need to lube me up. Just push me down the hill and I'll go all the way down.
you're like a luge. Yeah. So, yeah.
So what's good? I know Matt does it every day, but how often do you post your content?
I used to do it a lot, but I've had a bit of a bad streak with depression recently.
Okay.
But then I got much better, and now I'm getting back into things. So
Would you-
recently it's been like once a week,
Yeah.
but I'm trying to get it up to like two times a week. I honestly love to be posting almost daily, but I think that's a fast way to burn out.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you say this whole sort of posting content and content creation in a whole helps with your mental health, or is it the opposite?
No, I would say it's like a result of me being healthy. So when
Yeah.
I'm good, so when I'm feeling good, when I'm at my best, I make most comics. I make my most quality comics.
Yeah.
And when my condition worsens, when I feel down, when the depression takes over, it's when I stop making as many things and the quality of my work decreases.
Okay.
Yeah, I get that. I can feel you entirely on that as well. I think with lockdown as well, it just exacerbates it a bit more as well, doesn't it? Because you're kind of confined to yourself a lot more. When you're in your head more,
Oh yeah, definitely.
it's not good. But I agree with you with like the like with like the web comics and posting. Like I've had like a hard time recently. You'll probably notice I've been putting a lot of reposts because
Yeah.
I've just been like mentally I've been fucked as well. Like it's just like some days I'm just like because I try and post every day, and the best thing to do is put a repost. If nothing, because it keeps up your your consistency in terms of what Instagram predicts. Because I know if you post 1 week, if you're posting like every single day, and then another week you post like one, Instagram likes to go, oh, we'll bleed followers for you now.
Yeah, Instagram is a hell app.
Yeah, it is horrible. Like, I prefer Twitter, but it's like growing Twitter is harder.
A lot harder. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea how I grew my Twitter account.
Yeah, you've got a lot on there now. Is it like 14,000 followers or something like that?
I think it's. Let me check.
I know it's quite like high up there, but that's definitely a good thing because
28,000.
wow, twice as much as I thought. Yeah, like again, but it's like I think once it gets to a certain point, it just exponentially grows as well, doesn't it? I think it's the same almost with every platform except Instagram that just likes to be a bit of a.
Instagram is Facebook, basically. I mean, like really sad I didn't get sooner onto Instagram before it
Yeah.
was bought out by Facebook,
Facebook, yeah.
and they basically completely butchered it.
Yeah, they did, yeah.
I mean, you can still grow on there. It depends on the type of content because Instagram will want to push a certain type of content. I'm not sure if it's like they do it manually, but relatable stuff usually does better. Like
Yeah.
it will be seen by more people.
Yeah.
It follows a similar YouTube algorithm.
Yeah,
But-
very similar.
But they slap you with a dick after it as well.
But
So-
if you try like something different, I'm not even saying edgy. I'm just
Yeah.
saying completely different, like random or something like that. You won't get as much interactions.
it is very specific. It knows it's so tailored to be so just linear with everything. I mean, again, like you've probably had this as well because I know you with your comics yourself, you like to do pretty much whatever you feel like humor wise, don't you? Like you don't, if it's dark, whether it's like happy. I mean, a lot of your stuff, I'd say more recently, has been a lot more, happy and positive. I see, with like the comics themes. But you've done a few dark comics in the past.
Oh yeah, my first comic
yeah.
was a suicide comic.
Yeah, right. There you go. Like, yeah. So I've noticed a change over time, and like, but I've seen in general, has Instagram ever like removed your comics or banned you for stuff?
Yeah, it's completely like random. somebody's gonna report you and like this is inciting violence. It's about
Yeah.
popping balloons,
Yeah.
and they don't give a fuck because that's basically it. They don't give a fuck because they know you depend on them, and then they don't depend on you because
Yeah.
like if you stop posting there, it doesn't matter because people don't really interact with your content, but they don't interact with your content because of their algorithm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, you know, you've got like a huge chicken pens, you've got like millions of chickens, and it's kind of like the person that's harvesting the chickens going to listen to one of the chickens. It's not going to happen. Like,
You would need like half of the chickens.
yeah.
And it has to be the top brass of the chickens to like say no. I'm not gonna lay on eggs now. I'm just gonna suck him up in my asshole.
Yeah. Look, we've had enough. We're off. Like, yeah.
Oh, I put it back in where it came from.
But yeah, it is like it's a shame. Like trying to find a platform that, I mean, this is why I like Twitter, because it literally lets you put anything unless you're spreading misinformation or doing something like that could be dangerous to somebody else. You know.
So what I like about Twitter, it's oh sorry, did I?
Oh no. No, go on. Basically, that was the end of it, really.
Oh okay, so I apologize. Sorry.
Oh, no. Continue.
I like Twitter as like the retweet function, so it's easy
Yeah.
to give back. So I can like when you post something that I really like, I can retweet it, and like a lot of our other comic colleagues, I can also retweet art, retweet something cool and such. Since I have like this big account, it feels like I feel like kind of a responsibility to help the people who are also trying to make others laugh. And I used to do it a lot more on Instagram, but then I noticed that if you want to do that, you have to do it like through actual posts on the page.
Yeah.
Stories just ain't gonna cut it because the reach of the stories has also been massively gutted.
Yeah, I think you get 3% of your total like base or something like that from your stories, which is it's so stupid, right? Because it's like people follow you for that one reason, like to see all your stuff. So presenting 3% of your stuff to them is just like, yeah, it doesn't make any sense. It's kind of like say you're driving kids in a bus, and like there's 24 kids on the bus, and you're only letting 2 of them know where you go. And then you drop.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Yeah, it's like where the rest are crying, and it's like this is hilarious. Like, you in on this, guys? Yeah. But I think it's just stupid. But I feel like I know Twitter still limits stuff as well. Like not everyone on Twitter sees it, but you do feel like once the ball's rolling with Twitter, you know, when you've retweeted something or you've done something like popular or it seems to get more recognition and it rolls a lot better.
Yeah, definitely. It's like, you know, I noticed with Instagram, like getting professional gigs, professional offers and such things.
Yeah.
It happens at Instagram. It happens when you reach like 200,000 followers or more.
Yeah.
It's basically until then it doesn't matter, which is kind of weird.
Yeah. It's strange. Like so I got offers back when I think I was at about 30,000. But I think it was because I was growing. There was a point, right, where I was growing between 6,000 to 7,000 a week, and that was the craziest time. Like,
it was before they implemented the Facebook changes.
Yeah, and this is like when it was going like, because I just remember I used to post at like 2 or 3 in the morning, like most nights, which is the weirdest time to post, but it was the best time to post because I spent ages, you know, trying to adapt it. And then, you know, again, like as you said, like Facebook came in and was like, let's stop this. No one's having fun around here. Let's take all your information and sell it. So, and that's basically, it's crazy. So, but yeah, I think on your note, I was saying, you know, about sharing, having a bigger account and doing stuff. I wanted to do the same thing again with Instagram, but then Instagram punishes you if you post outside of your normal routine. Because it watches and monitors when you post. So if you put another post out in a day, both posts just get negatively blammed. I don't know if it does it. I don't know if it's done it to you or whether it's.
Oh no, it shits on me all the time.
Yeah, it's just it's balmy. Like especially when all you want to do is just be creative and make people happy and laugh and surely that's a good thing to share. But
no, it's like we bring interaction to your platform, but they don't care because what are you gonna do? Stop posting when the people are on Instagram? It's like it's great. Creative suicide, basically. Also, Tom, sorry about us completely
Yeah.
talking about this.
no,
We're
no,
very
no.
passionate about
It's
this.
quite
Yeah.
interesting to hear the difference between somebody who just uses it as like a sort of materialistic thing, where just going on looking at shit and then coming off, and then hearing about it from people who actually use it to sell their content is quite. So what would you guys say would make Twitter a better base than Instagram?
Well, I mean,
Twitter-
you
yeah.
go first, Martin. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. No, you take it. You take it away.
Yeah.
Take it away.
Basically, I think there's only one problem with Twitter, and it just needs more people on it. That's it. As soon as you've got more people on it, it will boom. It is again like Instagram has billions of people on it. Twitter, I don't actually know how many people are on, but it's more of a corporate thing, right? And people use it to follow businesses to see what they're doing and that. I think it's only it only goes up in small increments over the years where you get like fans starting to come on there, and I think it's becoming more of a popular place because now that you've got people like people like Oni, NG use it a lot. Game Grumps use it and stuff. So you're getting another side of like following these. It's becoming more of a fan base than it was of what it previously was built to kind of do.
Yeah.
So I think we'll see. The more people you get on it, the better it'll be.
Yeah, I agree.
I think That's well. Is there anything you wanted to like add on that? Like, or is that
the problem is like there's certain parts of Twitter that you don't want to interact with, like political Twitter. I'm personally very left leaning, so if I interact with political Twitter, that's okay for me. But there's like this huge mass of anger on Twitter that you just want to avoid at all costs.
The dark web Twitter.
Yeah. I could tell you were left leaning, and one of my favorite things you did was the Bernie Sanders anime. Like,
I lost so much people everywhere.
Really?
I thought it was worth it, man. Like, that's gold. Like, I showed Tom it when I was in the bar. Just literally, like, this is because I was talking about getting people on and doing more podcasts with other creative people and stuff, and I showed him the Bernie Sanders one.
I'm so glad about that one.
Oh, it was brilliant. I loved it. It was. I thought it should have just gone. It did boom though, didn't it?
Yeah, it did, but it cost me like so many followers. I mean, I get like it was mostly female followers, and you get like from their perspective, it's like, Jesus, man, I don't read your comics to be reminded of objectification of women.
Yeah. Oh, God, some people are just. I feel like people just. Why can't people have opposite opinions and still get along? Like, this is.
No, but actually, it is something I've been interested in. Like, I like the anonymity. I'm not gonna lie, but I do get women because like, who also don't like it because it's always like, those are proportions that they're never gonna achieve ever. Yeah. But on the other side, it's like now I'm thinking, yeah, this is reality. This is how women are supposed to be.
Well, the best.
I'm literally going through your comments at the time, and it's like, it's very, it's one or the other.
It's anything political is always like split. I think it's always split down the middle. Like
yeah, it's okay.
But it's one of these things, right? When like people complain, like say like, oh, it's objectifying women, or it's doing this or that, or it's giving unrealistic body standards, or cartoons, or like video game characters. I believe it doesn't really matter because at the end of the day, it's kind of like saying, oh, Harry Potter has wizard powers. I don't have wizard powers. You're making him seem better than me because he has wizard powers and I don't. It's like, it's...
Harry Potter is definitely a weeb.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah.
I want to go the same way there, but I'm like reminding myself, trying to make. I don't really ever gonna understand the female point of view on that matter. Because apparently, like a lot of. Even some of my friends were like, some were like, that's a joke, nice joke, but some were like, not okay with it, and I had like trouble relating to them because of the reasons, and I just hit me like I can try to understand it, but it's really hard for me put myself in those shoes because I see it as something completely harmless.
Yeah.
I think it's one of these things where like and again it is just physiology and just how women and men are put together differently. Women are more emotionally driven, so I feel like it's just one of these things where like again you can have emotional men and and vice versa, and like solid women. I mean, I think Margaret Thatcher, the Iron Lady, was known for being pretty much emotionless. But again, like there, you've got the contrast. But I think it's that way of thinking, isn't it? Where guys with like again with comedy, like guys are more open to like different types of comedy, and you find it with you'll see it in your insights on like how more people will probably like your stuff of the male demographic, and I think this is like kind of the point where say like a barbarian, like Conan the Barbarian, that's an
Hmm.
unrealistic body standard for men, and you're like, but then Sailor Moon is like an unrealistic body standard for women, like and having hair that long and just all these things. But again, like I think guys just care less. I think we're more like likely to shrug something off,
Yeah,
whereas
I think it's also because we don't have to like deal with certain things
yeah,
in our
yeah.
lives.
Again, yeah, it's part of society, isn't it? Because women were always like in the media, they've always been pushed to say like, this is how you should look. These are all your icons, whereas like all our icons are quite a bit different, in contrast. I think yeah, it is society's problem that's caused it, and it's just kind of trying to deal with the aftermath, and hopefully people open up and understand, when you're explaining it and saying like it's not aimed to be offensive. So I'm sorry if you took it that way, but that's not the intention behind it. I
Yeah.
think.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry. That was pretty much the end. Sorry.
Yeah, it's an interesting topic, like trying
Yeah.
to thread these things. Uh,
Yeah. It's complicated without a doubt. There's no like, there's no denying that. But yeah, I agree that it's just sometimes it is hard to understand when someone is
Yeah.
like
Of course,
opposed.
we obviously have never been objectified to anything. So
Yeah, exactly.
all
Yeah.
we can do is when people do come out and say, "Okay, this isn't okay," you just got to try and understand.
Yeah. Again,
That's
yeah,
all we can do.
it's like it's important to ask questions at the end of the day. Like the more questions you ask and the way of thinking, the better you can get
Yeah.
to the origin of it all and kind of understand where they come from. So
Yeah.
yeah. Oh,
and here it's just three guys discussing women's issues.
yeah. We are the authority.
Yeah,
Yeah. But again, like back to the like creative process. So like what's your creative process with, building your comics or your art pieces? Like do you like watch a lot of stuff beforehand? Do you look for references? Is there like a way that gets you going, that energizes you to do it? Because again, as you said, like recently you haven't, during up to the period of recently, you haven't felt as good as you normally would due to feeling depressed and that, but now you're feeling it come back. Like what gets you going?
So what works best for me is like starting. I have a sketchbook in
Yeah.
which I like draft ideas. So what gets me going is telling myself, okay, now I'll make 3, 4 comics that are bad on purpose, because what I usually find is the hardest part is just getting started drawing.
Yeah.
With a drawing or writing ideas. So I'm gonna make bad stuff on purpose, and that gets like the ideas rolling. And I'm aware that comedy is usually a result of quantity. And what I mean by that is, so when you make jokes, when you deal with humor like we do,
Yeah.
most of what you do is gonna be average or bad.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like 10% of it, it is gonna be at least better than the other 90% that you wrote, and then you take that 10%. So my way of like doing comics is like very procedural. I have like kind of a system
Yeah.
that works. I don't have like limitations on the system, like I can do this, I can't do that, but it's just like when it comes to actually getting started, that's where the efficiency lies in.
I get the starting thing. Like it's most people's. I find it like a lot of people's problems is, I'll get messages like, "How do you do this? How do you do that?" And I assume you get exactly the same. And at the end of the day, the main advice is just start, because
Yes.
if you don't start, you go nowhere. And you think and you have all these ideas. It's all about doing, not thinking. So like I agree with that. I can understand that. Yeah.
So what's your process like?
So like similar kind of thing. Like sometimes I have like brainstorms where I'll come up with like about 10 really good comics that I think could work, and I'll just write them down. I mean, I've got about 20 at the moment, but they're like longer ones, and I have to put more time into them. But like again, as we were discussing recently, we've just been kind of depressed and down, and just not being in the mental state to do some of it. My brain has recently just opted to doing stuff quickly, and just so I usually just sit down and I think of like, Daddy, where do stars come from? And then I'll just make it up as I go. I do that quite a lot, and sometimes they are like, hits. Because you can again, like I love the fucking hell, the improv nature. I can't say that word today for some reason. The improv nature of comedy. I like the fact that you can be like, Sally, where's that snake come from? Oh, I pooped it out earlier, mummy. Like it just it could go anywhere. So sometimes I do that, but
work on that one.
Sorry.
To work on that one.
Yeah. I need to sort out that snake. It's crazy. But
yeah, for a while.
Yeah. But you can. When I'm just like tired and stuff, and I can't get my brain going, that's the usual way that I go. But I've been trying to do things to kind of get myself going. Like I've been going for more walks. I've been trying to like drink more water and try and be a bit more healthy in that, and have more time to myself, because I don't give time to myself. The problem with myself recently was the job that I work in, they furloughed most people, and they had to let someone go, and basically we had double the work over since March, and we had.
I'm guessing you didn't get double the pay.
No, we got reduced pay because of everyone trying to keep everyone in a job. I was fine with the reduced pay, but again, like we were getting more. Usually when stuff like this happens, you think the work will die down, so you have less work, but we were getting more clients in. And
wow.
And I was exhausted. It was the point where we were basically, work was freelancing stuff out on the weekends to us. So I'd work all week, and then I'd work weekends on a big project. So I wouldn't get any time. And this was going on for about 2.5 months.
Is it still going on?
No, not now. Like things have eased down. Our work's actually changed. We work 4 days now and get 3 days off, which is great. So since that's been happening, it's been like fantastic. It's given me time to sit down. So I've been
getting your time back, basically.
Yeah, getting my time back. And like our wages are returning to normal and stuff, which is nice.
That's good to hear. Yeah.
Yeah. So like it's getting better, but like that during that period, like again, like I'm still recuperating, because some days I'll feel like amazing, but then some days I won't feel at all. So, but that's how I've been doing it recently. But usually with the creative process, I sit down and I just have a conversation with myself usually, and I'll pick a theme. So I'll say carrots, and I'll say, how do I make carrots work? How do I make them funny? And then I'll go down this stupid thing of like say like I did a carrot one like a while ago. Is that carrots help me see in the dark, and it's just a torch, a carrot torch. It's just a stupid idea, but like I like it, I guess it depends on the type of comedy as well, because I like silly Monty Python, comedy and dark humor. Those are my two things. It's probably very evident in my comics anyway. But
you did have that continuous story with the ape and throwing poop.
Yeah. Oh man, every time I do those long ones, like people in the comments love it. So the interactivity goes up, but I lose so many followers. Like I bleed like all the time. I mean, I did one with a fly and like Breaking Bad and shit like that. But yeah,
I think you know what? I think it's worth it.
I do. Yeah, it's an expression.
Because at some point you'll be like. They'll hit how much you have a lot on Instagram, right? You are like 150,000 more.
I think I'm at 267,000, something like that. Like something like that.
See, exactly, and it's like you can't grow forever. You're at a really decent number. So now what you can do is basically just say, "Fuck growth, fuck that."
Yeah.
He's gonna commit to the quality of my comics. And I now have a consistent audience that's apparently invested in my work, and I'm just going to try new things. Because if you keep doing the same thing over and over again, people will get bored of you.
Yeah, this is again. I completely agree. I've been thinking this like recently more than ever. I've been working on a video game, And I've also been working on a bit of feature length comics and again the podcast and all these other things because the idea now is to branch out. So as you were saying with like, not putting out every day, like I'm thinking about reevaluating it and doing maybe like twice a week or once a week, and then using the rest of the time to work on the video game or to work on like drawings or content because again like I think I'm one of the like I think you yourself are the same. Like I don't really push my Patreon very much at all.
Yeah,
Like
it's been like I don't know, maybe a whole fucking year since I pushed my Patreon before like a couple of days ago.
yeah, and it's one of those things because I think with like Patreon you feel like you have to make content, like, and being in that situation is not always good for a creative.
Yeah.
And I think
You have to like let yourself rest because you definitely know this. It's like you have always this feeling of relying on yourself. Like I gotta keep making stuff, keep
yeah,
fucking.
you got to feel like you've got to outdo yourself every time as well, and
Oh
that's
yeah,
like that pressure's fucking horrible.
I guess like Patreon, it's really handy for a different kind of creative, isn't it? It's
Yeah,
where
yeah.
you can't post something or create something every day, where somewhere
mm.
people can,
Well, yeah,
because it's about them and their image rather than creating something. It's about creating themselves around something else.
yeah. It's one of the things is like why Patreon is going to be handy in the future, because I do want to start promoting it more, but
Yeah,
I want something to give back to, and the video game is kind of a good way of doing that because I can start showing video game development shots, so you can see,
Ooh,
you can see
behind the scenes.
yeah, behind the scenes, basically, yeah. So you can listen to the music before it comes out, and I just use it that way. And then eventually we do a Kickstarter. So again, like Patreons, if they stick with it for long enough, they'll get a copy of the game so they can watch it all the way through, and they've guaranteed themselves that they're going to get, the
Yeah,
game.
that's cool. That's really cool. It's like you're giving them much more incentives, much more
Yeah,
interactivity, and much more rewards to actually like use Patreon not as a support tool, but like an actual service.
yeah, exactly. Because the best thing is like because the one of the problems with doing the daily comics, because the idea is like I was putting the comics up there a day early, but I've fallen back. I mean, I haven't charged anyone on Patreon since I think April because I turned it off because I wanted people to save money to themselves because the world's a crazy place at the moment, and I don't want to be taking people's money right now.
The world is burning, and I'm here
Yeah.
yelling on the streets. Anybody
Yeah.
want to buy some drawings?
It's basically
That's
like
news.
but I know a lot of people have been promoting it and using it. I can understand if the situation for yourself, like I'm very lucky that I've got a good paying job and I've got just
Well, you're a programmer, right?
so yeah, I basically I code websites, design, animate, just a shit mix of everything. So like that's the kind of thing that I do. So I've always got like avenues, even if I lost my job, I can go back to freelance. So I know I'm in a relatively like safe place. But yeah, what we were saying with like the Patreon, the idea of if I can put like the video game development, they're not expecting it every single day like my comics. You're expecting it when it happens because development is a process, right? And like you can only see that process once it's complete. So the idea is just putting bits out. So I could probably put 2 bits out a week. And that would be a very good way of doing it because having that extra day free, we're only doing 4 days now, having the Friday dedicated to just doing this one thing would be great because you can get so much done in a day, like as long as you
Yep.
put your head down. So that's kind of like, yeah. So I don't know, like again, like what are you working on? Any other projects now? Like, I mean, I know you're trying to get back into the flow as you were saying,
Yeah,
and just
yeah. Firstly, I would like to get back in the flow of like just at least making 2 new comics a week. That would be amazing for now.
yeah,
But what I think is like I need to put and to have this idea in my head that like I need to put an end date to the comics.
yeah,
So the reasoning is so that people don't get complacent and they like find new things and then they shift their focus to those things. And I think like it would be healthy for me to also try out new projects, new things, which might lead to losing actually some followers, some
yeah.
people, but I think it's worth a risk of actually
Mm.
developing as a person, as an artist. So I've been thinking like how to do short stories
Yeah.
like 10-page ones, and be done with it. And starting with that, like just branching out, trying out new things.
Yeah. It's definitely important. You got to put your toe in first, don't you? Just make sure the water's like, the right temperature. So just go through, put your toe in so many pools, and go. This one's the pool I want to swim in. Not the best analogy, but you get.
No, it's okay. I got. But also, sorry, Tom.
Say again.
No, it's dead.
He said sorry because he thought you were saying something.
Oh, I was. It's all good. It was just a shit joke. You'll get that a lot. Don't worry.
No, Tom, you're great. You're great. Come on, man.
Yeah, we're gonna whip out this shit joke. We're ready.
I feel like a deep connection.
Oh, did you not hear it? Oh, right.
No, we didn't hear it. No.
It's going to be awful now that I have to.
You gotta explain the joke. Like that's the best way to make a joke funny.
Yeah, if you're not explaining the joke, it's.
Yeah.
I would just say, don't go into the pool with loads of kids pissing it.
But I mean, gross. Come on, Tom. Like it's a podcast.
Tom, man, come on.
But like, so with these stories, right? So like, where do you want? Is it going to be a specific genre, or do you just want to do anything with it?
I want to basically do anything with it, so I can always come back and like, today I'm gonna do an action story. Tomorrow I'm gonna do one about two boys falling in love and finding out they're actually space gods.
Space god. That sounds along that. It sounds very Bravest Warriors almost.
I used to follow that a lot.
Yeah. It's so good.
What I can't propose a discussion with Patreon. So I didn't have a job. I basically failed college. I used to be like engineering and mechatronics and robotics. I really wanted to. I was like really wanted to do that, but then I got depression and I just fucking failed to college. And I tried to go in another one, but with even while depression was still active, so I failed that. So yeah, winning.
I mean, I think the best thing is like you're clearly like a creative mind. I talked to a few people about this. I feel like education is around this. It's kind of like a facade for creative people, because I understand if you're if you're a nurse, or again, like with engineering, I can kind of understand that as well, because you need to know knowledge of that certain thing. But I guess because obviously you've gone out and you've done like comics and drawings, and you've dabbled and you've tried new things, I think that's probably been much better for you than anything educational wise could ever be for you.
It's definitely been a great experience. It's honestly the best thing about comics has been like interacting with you people. Guys, basically like other the comic artists, and then the like experiencing the support from my readers.
Yeah. It's a good. It's nice to know people are behind you, right? Like it's kind of like a support net where these people really care about what you do, and it makes you reassured in yourself. It builds up your confidence.
Oh, but it's also like you're doing stuff on the internet, so it's like you always got to remind yourself, people don't like the real you. They like the idea of you that they have in your head, because you're in complete control of what you're presenting to them. What I noticed is like, people on the internet seem to like me, but people in real life really don't like me. So I must be doing. There's a side of me that doesn't shine through on the internet, and you always gotta remember, it's like, well, what you think of a person on net is basically the idea of your idea of them.
Yeah. Like. You do get like it's like again, like, so when you grow, I think we've all had people that we've like idolized on the internet, and then something's come out about them that they're just nowhere near as good of a person as you thought they were. Like,
as long as you don't sleep with kids, you'll be sound.
Yeah. What was oh god, as you said, like it is just getting to you. They like you for your work, so they have a representation of you.
Yeah.
But they don't know you. Yeah. Again, because it's one of those things that I try and do in the comments. So, like, if someone says something stupid, I'll probably say something thingy back to them and be like, not like a dick, but jokingly a dick. Because you can only do so much, but you do get people that. I mean, have you had any? This is a good point. What's the weirdest message you've got in your comments from people?
Weirdest message? Well, I do get like things. like I don't get it, I understand the joke. That's pretty normal stuff in Reddit. I will sometimes get, this is not funny. It's like, okay. The weirdest, honestly, interactions have been getting sometimes messages from reply girls, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to talk to you. Why are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Well, how am I supposed to react? Because I don't want to be a jackass, and I don't want to be mean, but it's like, this is not a conversation I want to have
Yeah.
on my comic posting account.
You do get like, yeah. I think Instagram's got better at it, but you do get those messages now and again. You're like, okay, yeah, go, please leave.
I mean, Tom basically has great stories about weird conversations.
Brilliant. So you guys work in both like very, what's the best word to say it? Like feedback based.
Well,
so like everything you do is commented on, and I feel like that's kind of very my sort of job as well, because you don't think about it like this, but every interaction you make is going to be, they're going to judge you regardless. Like we have this persona of being really nice, and we have that customer face on, and they like that idea of you, and then they didn't like a certain taste in a drink, and they'll go on a sort of feedback site, like what's it called, TripAdvisor. TripAdvisor will get like comments like, this guy's a massive dick. We're like, what? Where did that come from? Or this guy's like, because my girlfriend, she was serving this guy, and she couldn't serve this guy because he was being too impatient. So she was like, okay, I'm sorry, being really polite and saying, sorry, you're gonna have to leave. And then a day later, this guy posted on the TripAdvisor saying that she was being homophobic and racist and this and that, and it's like,
Jesus,
what the fuck? He came back as well last week and apologized. He was like, I'm that guy, and we were like, what the fuck?
Jesus.
Okay, so that's a weird story, all right.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm glad he apologized, but still,
a good thing to take away is that people will always be sort of put on this persona to sort of get a lot of feedback back. So this guy that's wrote in this review wants something in return, and I guess that can happen to you guys as well with, oh, I didn't get this joke. They're always entitled to something they think they deserve.
Yeah,
good point.
So
it's like sometimes that type of like that type of comment and reaction is based in they want attention. Yeah. And you'll get it a lot. Like I've had some times where it's like,
can we be friends? And like, I guess we could, but this is really uncomfortable for me.
Yeah, I get people messaging going that your last comment was shit, and I'm like, so I just go back to them and go thanks, and they go, oh my god, I can't believe you replied. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, just like you've just insulted me, and then you're like, so when I reply, you're like, oh god, and he's trying to talk to me, and he's like, no. Like, if you message me going, I didn't like your comment because of this, like you could, it could have made it funnier by saying this or that or that. Then I'm like, well, fair enough. That's feedback. Thank you.
Those are the people that care, actually.
Yeah, because they enjoy your stuff so much that they've analyzed it and going like, this and that. And it's like, all right. But like, again, like there's another side of that as well. And you've probably had this as well, Martin, where someone was saying like, oh, it should have ended like this, but it's not actual feedback. It's just their interpretation of how the comic should have ended. So I'm like, I was like, go write your own comic.
Yeah, basically, it's like people, hey, can you like check this comic idea out? And like,
yeah,
it's not something I can see working. And like, oh, and they're like, will you make it? What?
Yeah, I get asked to make comics all the time. This is my idea, and I was like, oh, I like the idea, but maybe you should do it yourself.
At best, what I've gotten is like inspiration for a theme. So it'll be like something like a pirate theme idea, and it'll like execution doesn't work, but it did give me an idea for something completely else, and that's like the best I've ever gotten out of those interactions.
Yeah, it's again, I think it's like, yeah, you get a small good out of it, but mostly it's like, what?
Yeah, we get like, we're like G-list internet celebrities.
G-list, yeah. We're like the bottom of the food chain.
But people still, you're gonna get like people that are like what Tom said, that want the attention.
Yeah, it is like it's just it's just peculiar. I don't get. I know that people do it, but I just don't get how you get to that point to think that way. Like,
I think it's mostly young kids who don't really.
yeah, it definitely has to be young people without a doubt. It's just again like it's peculiar. It's very peculiar. On the note actually of just basically just the motivation to do stuff and like people's interacting and stuff. What gets what gets all of you kind of pumped? Like, what's your inspiration to, is it like movies? Is it,
Hentai.
comics, hentai? Yeah, like video games. What gets you? What's your biggest motivation behind?
I think it's exclusively hentai.
100%.
Yeah,
I have to see at least one tentacle in the morning. I don't think I can do it.
yeah.
I don't think I can even get out of bed.
Yeah,
exactly.
Tentacle needs to lift you out of bed. Yeah.
Honestly, it's like seeing other comics. It's like seeing something well done, like a continuous story or character design or a really good way of telling a joke, and that's the stuff that gets me like wanting to be better, wanting to make my content better.
Yeah, something to contrast to.
Yeah, recently I've been like looking at when looking at webcomics, I look at styles that I really like, and I try to emulate them a bit in like during practice.
Yeah,
and that's the reason why I tried going digitally to actually get away from my shitty comics. I just got tired of scanning comics and wanted to try to doing them digitally. I think I've found something that works for me.
Yeah, again, I digitally definitely saves you a lot of time as well. It's easy to manipulate, and you can repurpose stuff as well, which is handy.
I would never. How dare you? How dare you insinuate that?
But like, it's like repurposing is just handy. But I do like the charm again. Like one of the things that I like about your comics is I love the charm of the hand drawn-ish like look. There is something about it that just makes it, I don't know. It's like a cozy feeling. It's like, when you go to a house and it's like a modern futuristic house that's completely white, and you're like, oh, this is like almost sterile. But then when you've got something that's kind of got a bit of accent or style to it, it makes it feel more homely. So it's like a nice little cottage. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
But yes, it makes.
What about you, Matthew? What motivates you?
I guess it's probably a bit of everything. I think one of the biggest driving forces behind me is definitely video games, because it's like controlled like most of my life.
You're a gamer.
Gamer
let's
boy.
bully this nerd.
Yeah, don't bully me.
Okay, that was great. You should do voice acting.
Yeah. But video games, I think, is one of these kind of things where, as growing up, like again, when I get obsessed with games, even now, like Ghost of Tsushima came out, and although I have my problems with it, I still, God, I played that until I platinumed it, and I platinumed it within like 2 to 3 days or something like that.
Jesus Christ, man!
Yeah, I like when I get a game, it kind of helps me escape my mind a lot as well. Because one of the problems is.
Does it help you calm down? Because when I play games, they help me like refocus my attention on just the game. It gets rid of the static that's produced by 1,000 thoughts bouncing around in the brain.
That's basically it. Yeah, I get in like when I go to bed, I have to leave the TV on, because if it's silent, I won't go to sleep because I'll be in my head. So video games is a good way of kind of getting that shit out. So I'll just play there, and because video games is like, it's a combination of like every medium, right? You're getting your story, your sound, your visuals, everything's in there. So it's a good way of going like, wow. And like Ghost of Tsushima is a beautiful game, animated really well. Like, there's just so much to it. So that game was kind of, that hyped me up, and it gave me a bit of inspiration and motivation to just get going again. But I do understand there's a detrimental side to like video games as well, because people do get completely consumed by it, and then they end up just doing
that's on the
extreme
spectrum of it.
Yeah, again, I think it comes back to being self-evaluative, isn't it? Because if you're looking at yourself and thinking, how do I improve myself, then you're not going to go, you're not going to go anywhere. So
I guess you both kind of like the same sort of thing. Like what motivates you both is the same thing. In the sort of aspect of things like
creative stuff,
creativity and like
yeah.
artwork and stuff like that. You'd love to see that sort of the artists proceed and do well. So when you see like games like you just said, Ghost of Tsushima, and they do really well, so it's like Sucker Punch. You're like, oh my god, they're doing really well for themselves, which is good because I've loved their games since day one. So Sly Cooper to Infamous to this.
Oh, you played Sly Cooper. Oh, you're a man of good taste.
Yeah, Sly Cooper's the class game. It's
Matthew, please, I'm talking to Tom.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
I'm just kidding.
But yeah, like at least we agree.
Yeah, you like to see other people in the sort of same standing as you guys succeed, and that's what kind of drives you to.
Yeah, I think one cool thing about like producing media is like, except if you're okay, this argument doesn't work if you're producing stuff that's like intense video games that require a lot of hours.
Yeah.
But usually it's like if you do a good comic, if somebody else does a good comic, you should probably be supportive of them, because if people read it and they like it, they just increase the chance of reading other comics, and that means also including your comics. So cool thing about like the whole artistic community when it comes to like our webcomics is the support everybody's showing.
Yeah.
And also now I have another reason to be better at comics. It's to not disappoint Tom.
Yeah. I've just gone through some of your old stuff as well, and you're actually as well. This is quite weird. You are followed by a guy called, well, his Instagram handle is Mr. Lion, and Mr. Lion is actually one of the biggest influences in my industry. So he owns 3 bars in London, and so it's quite weird to see that. And he's won multiple awards, including one of the best bar in the world.
Jesus.
Yeah, Dandelion. I'm sure it won Best Bar in the World a couple of years ago, and then they changed the name of the bar to Super Lion, and I think it's in the top 5 now in the world, and you're followed by him.
Yeah, that's a weird part about comics. It's like,
yeah.
Okay, I didn't know. It's cool. It's cool. I've also noticed I've been followed by a lot of like winter sports Olympics. Olympic. Well, what's the word? I don't know.
Athletes.
Athletes. Thank you. But like gold and silver winning ones, and I'm like, that was like before I even hit 10K, and I was like, how did this happen? I guess it was like one guy and just like sharing my comics around the athlete camp, and it was like, oh, check this out.
That's literally all it takes, isn't it?
It's like, this is one cool thing as well. Like when you get followed by someone that like that you kind of like grew up and aspired, or you enjoyed their content. Like I mean, like, have you been followed by people that you've really like enjoyed, and again when like when you followed me and I followed you and stuff, like I already enjoyed your content before like that point. And again with like other people like in the comic community, but like other people before you kind of got into it, has anyone kind of followed you that you really like?
I was like surprised when Zach from Extra Fabulous Comics knew about me.
Oh, sick! Yeah, Zach's ace. I've talked to him on Instagram a couple of times. He's really nice.
Yeah, really nice. And I was like completely like, whoa, what the hell? And
yeah,
like I've been reading your comics since forever. You're like this huge guy on the internet. You have basically comics turned into memes.
Yeah, he's like I was about to say, where he's such a his comics are. I think they were one of these things where the internet didn't have that type of comic, and he was that kind of like standalone element. I know you had stuff like Cyanide and Happiness, but Extra Fabulous was this kind of absurd darkness, wasn't it?
Yeah, he's very like, I don't know how to describe it. It's a completely different style of humor. It's
that's what I mean. Yeah, it's like he's his own thing. Like
you're completely right. He's his own thing. But I also remember like when I was like messaged Perry Bible.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I know about you," and I was like, "Oh my god, oh my god!" And
Mm,
then when I asked him about doing collaborative comic, and I was expecting to get shut down
Mm,
but I was just going to wait. I'm gonna shoot my shot, get shut down, move on, just
yeah.
second. And he was like, "Oh yeah, sounds great. I would love to." And I'm like, "Oh my freaking god!"
It's that whole thing, isn't it? You're judged by the shots you didn't take and not by the ones that you did. So like
yeah.
you may as well take as many shots as you can because again it pays off. So that must have been class to work with Perry Bible. I love his shit. So goddamn good.
Oh yeah, the way he like the creative process where his mind takes him, and the
Mm,
quality of his comics. He's just like insane with it because he only publishes those 10% of greatness he
yeah,
makes, and I don't have the self-control to just publish those.
yeah,
But he also has like he came from the original internet days,
yeah. He did. Yeah,
so he doesn't have to worry about algorithms that much because he's kind of like this
established.
internet icon.
Yeah, yeah. He oh god, I still love it. One of my favorite comics he did was the where it's like an Indian kid praying to God and
Yeah,
a
yeah,
fish
the
kid.
Jesus versus.
And then it's just got is it Vishnu fighting or I
Yes.
can't remember. Yeah, man, oh so good, good, I'm good. Yeah, he's a genius. So yeah, that must have been class. Like
It's very cool.
I'm jelly. I mean, like Tom, have you managed to work with anyone like in the have you managed to talk or work with anyone in the bar field for like cocktails and stuff? Because obviously you've done
Yeah,
the
actually, did you have like somebody else who also manages a bar come up to you and be like, "Hey, man, great stuff."
I think I've got compliments of people like when I do these, when I go to elsewhere and stuff, and you'll have people that represent brands and they'll come in and they're like, "Oh, can I have a drink, please?" And yeah, and they're like, "This is a great drink." And I guess that's all the compliment I need. It's nothing to the point where someone super big in my industry will comment for like a sort of like collaboration with you, like something like you guys, but support. We have like a very supportive field in my industry,
Oh, that's nice.
in like the hospitality thing. So everyone's always bigging up of each other, and like my peers are my friends. So even like last night, I was speaking to he won. Actually, he's still currently because they didn't get to do the competition this year. He won best bartender in the UK, and he was just my friend. And at the same time, he was like, "Oh, what are you doing tomorrow?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm on a podcast with two guys, Hot Paper Comics, and Lemon Sandwich." And they were like, "Oh, what are you on about?" And I showed your works, and they were like, "How do you know these guys?" I'm like, "They're just my friends." Just like, I don't see you guys obviously as Lemon Sandwich and
yeah,
Hot Paper Comics. I see you guys as Martin and Matt. So
Oh, thanks, Tom.
yeah.
That's quite a nice, wholesome story. Thank you.
It is. Yeah.
you're welcome. So I guess it's kind of different the way other people see you guys to where I see you guys, and the way people see my friends to the way I see my friends.
Yeah, that's interesting, especially when I got the honor of like meeting this like famous stand-up guy. Well, creation stand-up guy, so he's only famous here, but it was like sobering to meet him up and see like, "Oh, you're just a regular person. You're just a
Yeah.
person. You poop and go grocery shopping."
Yeah.
Yeah, and as long as they're wholesome human beings, I mean,
Yeah.
that's it.
I think it's one of those things in it where like we obviously I know Tom personally, and I think I was starting Lemon Sandwich back when I first met you, which is kind of crazy to think about. But like we've been friends, and like anytime you know someone through like kind of like a connectivity of friends, compared to say like someone in the comment section, like you can still make friends with people on like a social media that follow you, but it's not always a good idea because there's like almost a line there, and you might be idolized as a friend, which is not good. Like
so they're almost again like going back to the feedback side of things and people trying to get reaction out of you. Compared to like me, where I literally don't want anything apart from us to do well together and start doing things, our own projects and things like. I'll never turn around to you and say, "Hey, man, you mind giving me that T-shirt for free? Or
Yeah, no, yeah. Again, yeah. Like when I got my T-shirts printed before, you never asked for one. I was like, "Do you want one?" Like, and again, you could have gone, "No, I don't want that fucking awful T-shirt." Like,
I imagine coming up to Tom and being like, "Hey man, can you make me a free drink?"
yeah, exactly. So if you come into,
Yeah.
so I've actually got friends who come to the bar and say, "Oh, come on, man, sort me out." I'm like, I never expect that. I never expect discount. I never expect anything
Yeah.
of that sort from my friends or from any bar unless I've got a coupon.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's the same here. Like every time that I come visit you, I don't think I've ever asked you for free drink. You've offered me drinks.
yeah,
Most of the time, I'll offer, buy you and the other person on the bar a drink. But again, if someone's asking you for something, out of friendship, it's not really a good friendship.
Yeah, I mean, if you really were friends, then you'd support their decision to do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
and to sell something. So I'd never ask Tina, my girlfriend, by the way, bit of context.
All right, no need to boast. Come on, Tom.
Come on, we got feelings, man. That's not cool.
So I'd never ask her for a free print because she does print work and she does art on a more sort of print-based thing than what you guys do. But I'd never ask anything of her. Like, I'd never say, "Oh, can you do me a print for free?" It'd be like, "Oh, I love you and I'm going to support you. I'm going to buy this off you." And then I will also share the idea and the business to my friends who have bought things off her. And it's the same thing with bars that have sold things whilst the lockdown's been going on. If you really are friends and you really support a business, then you will support that business because
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
you want that business to succeed, and the only way doing that is not asking things for free. If you ask things for free, you're a piece of shit.
I'm an influencer, Tom.
Yeah.
Tom.
No, I should be doing TED Talks.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be an amusing TED talk.
Maybe actually
I'm
get
welcome to my TED Talk. This is how hentai saved my life.
Each day I make a paper boat and put 10 pounds in it and hope it reaches Japan. Thanks for saving my life.
No, I just subscribe to OnlyFans. I mean, that's what I do. I mean, I'm not doing it because I get off on it. I just do it because I support business.
I mean, it's local businesses. Baby, you are my business.
Yeah. I go out to buy the tissue and the moisturizer. It's not because I want to jack off. It's because I want to support the tissue and moisturizing industry.
I just want to have healthy, clear skin.
Yeah.
It has. And once I want it to be healthy, clear skin on my penis. It's just.
That's the dream, isn't it?
Yeah.
Clear skin.
I didn't buy the fleshlight for myself. I bought it for the industry.
Support your local business.
How dare you judge me?
I'm not judging you, mate. I've got 3.
Oh, God.
Matthew, can I ask you something?
Yeah, go.
So how long have you been doing like lemon sandwich?
Just over 4 years now. It's weird that you mentioned that on top of the saying about adapting earlier. I have a rule that I follow a lot of things where every 4 years you have to do something new, which is when I start the video game. But yeah, sorry, it's just to get that. Like my brain went off on a bit of a tangent. But yeah, about 4 years now. Like I think it seems to be growing, which is good. But again, yeah, I still love doing it. Like how long have you been doing hot paper for?
At this point, 3 years and 5 months.
3 years and 5 months, right? I'm trying to remember when I first saw your stuff. I swear you were like, God, I don't know where I first saw your stuff. That's crazy. Because I looked up to your stuff and I already started before you. That's
There you go, isn't it?
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's weird because obviously the internet is a beautiful place and it can be a very horrible place at the same time, but very dark stuff. But anyway, going through people's stuff and people sharing things, and it would be like a meme from like taken out of like the lemon sandwich sort of comic thing, and you see that and you're like, that's so weird. And then you speak to them about it, and you're like, oh yeah, I love this stuff, man. I just see it on like meme sharing pages and stuff like that, and you're just sort of like, oh well, I know this guy, man. This is his Instagram handle. They'll follow that instead. And they're like, oh my god.
it's, it's so, you know what's like, one thing I gotta really talk about, I hate about the internet, it's when people just crop out your credits. And
Oh
then
my
Yeah,
God.
yeah.
And like, I fucking,
PewDiePie did that to you, didn't
yeah,
he?
yeah, PewDiePie took my fucking, like, my comic and took out the credits and then, like, shared it on his thing. And I was like, I think I put in his comment section, thanks for the credits. That's literally all I left. I was like, oh, Jesus Christ. Like, a guy that big.
Jesus.
Yeah, a guy that big should be doing his research and, attributing people or letting, at least saying who it is. But
Yeah.
he didn't. Yeah, he just took it. And I was like, oh, right, fucking hell.
That's why I started posting like the signature inside the comic panels. It's like, I know it looks ugly. Fuck you.
yeah. Obviously, like, people would rather not have credits in there altogether. But again, like, the nature of the internet is like, this is mine. And that's
Yeah.
it. Like, it's like, have you? I mean, I assume like you've had multiple taken from you, Martin.
I don't really care.
No,
It's not because I don't mind it. It's because I don't want to waste the energy fighting it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think initially I did, like when my VR comic got taken and people were like posting it everywhere.
That's what I was on about. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and like, because I could have, God, that could have boomed me so much, but people cropped it out, and I was kind of gutted because I was really proud of that one.
Yeah.
And like they just immediately took it and ruined it. And I remember fighting like crazy for probably about 2 months. This is early days. And then I got to a point where people were messaging me like 5 times a day, going, "They've stolen this," and I'm like, I can't deal with this. It's not worth it. So I agree with you. It just breaks you down. You thought, you know what? I'm better off not caring.
You know
It's
who's
like-
actually been really good to me?
Is that?
Of all internet places? 9gag. They
Oh.
credit me each time.
Nice.
9gag, yeah, they messaged me before and credited me, and I was like, whoa, what? Like, they are very, like, they must have turned their like way around, because I remember, in the early days, they would just take everything and go, "This is ours."
Yeah.
Yeah, they must have gotten a lot of shit over the years because of it. Probably some legal actions too.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
I mean, again, if you steal someone, so we'll say somebody like Chris the Simpsons artist, or what's his name, the guy that always sells every single T-shirt in the world. He puts every word on a T-shirt and he sells it. He's a comic artist. He's got a really cool style. Oh God, what's his name? He worked with. He's really close with Dammy. You know Dammy.
Dummy?
Yeah. Oh God, I need to find out his name now. This is gonna bug me.
Adam Ellis?
There we go, Adam Ellis. Yeah, Adam Ellis. Like, if it was, if they took his stuff, I could guarantee he would crack down on them. So he's probably done it to someone like that, with a really big standing.
I know Adam and like the guy that does WooComics, Andy. They both have like experience dealing with those things because Adam
really?
used to work for BuzzFeed, and
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
and Andy used to work for College Humor, and I know both of them like have experience when it comes to these takedowns and how the whole legal process went when dealing with stolen work.
Ah, nice.
I mean, not that they managed the legal process, just that they know how it went.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, so it's easier for them to kind of just jump in and go, yo, stop that shit. But yeah.
I guess it's kind of like when you're in like a classroom and you say a joke like really quietly and it's really funny. Like you own that joke, and then somebody says it a bit louder, and then everyone laughs, and you're like, "That was my joke."
You know.
You know what's the worst happens?
What's
when the guy stealing your joke is the teacher.
that would be
Just
like,
stepdad.
Great joke, Teach. Great joke. But I credit Dad. Shut up, Melson. I don't know who Melson is, but
Maelstrom.
yeah, Maelstrom. Yeah, we'll call him Maelstrom. Have you seen, on the note of that? Have you seen the Key and Peele sketch on that?
Of like the joke, I think I have.
Yeah, it's oh God. It's something he's talking about, like maths, and he was like, "I'll blah 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 blah," and then he says it louder than the other person, and everyone's laughing at it. And like a comedian walks in, he goes, "This is the best joke I've ever heard. Come with me, you can come on tour with me." And he just gets really ridiculous. So you just probably.
I think I've seen a comic on it as well. I think it was it might be Perry Fellow.
Yeah, he's a.
And it was just sort of like, oh, he says it really shy, and then someone says it louder, and he's like, "Oh, that was my joke," and then he literally says, this guy said it first, and he was like, oh, and he started blushing. I'll try and find it.
I don't think it's Perry. He tends to be his humor. Perry. That's like another thing. Perry's humor is so fucking unique.
Yeah.
Like, and he's still putting out gold like constantly.
Yeah, he's funny.
Like again, but then again, he only posts. He very rarely posts, does he? I think probably once a month or something like that. Maybe not even that. Sometimes I think I've seen him go like, months without posting. I know he has his Patreon and stuff, but man, that guy is. I love his brain.
Yeah, I just as a self-discipline to only post the top tier stuff. Just fuck, man.
Yeah.
That takes some balls.
It's something that I want to do, but then again, like it's adapting, isn't it? And saying like, do I really, do I really want to post once a week, or take this long and the process? Yeah, I don't know. You have to change everything. Like if I went down that route, I'd have to change everything about my structure.
Yeah.
And it would change everything about like what people expect. So you have to kind of like, it has to be nurtured in the right way, I think, to get to that. I think when Perry started out, he used to post a lot more. I know his website, the stuff on his website doesn't have everything. He prunes his content for his website to be very like the best of the best. And you can see that. I know he posts stuff on Patreon that you can't see anywhere else as well.
Yeah. But another comic artist that does, it takes his time, but every time he posts something, it's like fucking genius. Jake likes onions.
Oh yes.
Yeah, Jake has this meticulous process of like making very detailed art.
But it's simple, but I can see where the detail comes from.
Yeah.
It comes in, and I think it's just everything. I'm looking for it now. I'm still laughing at it. And I've seen it before. It's just, I don't know, it's kind of gold for me.
Yeah.
I read it. It's so dark. And I got to stop looking at it because I don't want to do as well.
Yeah. Well, like on the note of that, like, do any of you guys follow Death Bulge?
Ooh, I love him, and I'm really looking forward to his game.
Yeah, he's working on a game. I'm so happy to hear that, because he's gone quiet, but he's focusing obviously on the game, which is, I mean, perfectly fine, because that's kind of, you need to see him expand. You want to see him doing new things and see where he can take his mind. It's like, that would be, I'm looking forward to that as well. Have you seen Death Bulge, Tom?
I'm just having a look now, seeing if I do.
His comics usually end up with people getting slam dunked or doors getting kicked in. I love the party one he did where it's literally people just constantly kicking the door in.
Oh yeah, the long form comic.
I love it. Like, I love long form comics. They're so funny. They're just, you can write an actual story that actually matters, and I kind of like that. Like,
also, you can like make comedy out of your characters.
Yeah,
because you can do jokes that are like tied to a character, so it's not always like a blank slate. It's not this. It's funny because he would never actually do that, and it's like, you can't do that with blank slates. Yeah, you can develop stuff of it. I mean, again, like I think with like long form comics, like with the dog comic and the poop slinger and the karate guy that I created in one of it, like, because that was the basis of creating the game. If I never came up with that comic, I wouldn't have any idea for my game, like the story or anything, and that came from just fucking around, like it's stuff like that. It's just, I don't know. It's cool. Like, again, with your short stories that you want to do, Martin, I imagine when you do them, like, that might develop into something, else that you might want to take it into. Like, there's so much fun in just trying things, isn't there? And just, thinking, throw everything to the wind and go, fuck it, let's do this. Yeah, it's cool that we have, like, the ability to test out these creative endeavors because we've built an audience.
Yeah, I think we're I think we're very lucky. Like, we're glad that there are people out there that enjoy our stuff.
Like Tom.
It's just Tom. Tom's created this many accounts. He needs to follow you on all the rest because he's following me on more than So I think we could.
No, it's okay. We leave Tom. He needs to pace himself.
Yeah. It's like Rocky, right? We've got to wait until like the penultimate finale, and then we see his true colors shining through.
Final form Tom.
Final form Tom. It's over 9,000.
It's always been over 9,000.
I thought I'd never use that meme because it got overused, but here we go. I've ruined my life.
It's no longer the 2010s. We can
Yeah.
use it now. We can use
Yeah,
memes again.
yeah. It's one of those things I hate, like most memes. Like I just don't enjoy them because I feel like a lot of them are just garbage. But then there are some that just absolutely hit the nail on the head, or there's something really obscure about it. Like I don't know why again, like there must be some that just stick with each of you more than any other meme. But
Yeah.
but I can't.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say there's one that I can't get out of my head at the moment, and I know it's been everywhere and it did its circles and it's back. It's the 21. You know the kid where it's like what's 10 plus 9 and he goes 21
Right.
in that exact voice, and it's so funny, but I don't know why. Like I can't explain
One
why.
of us finds it funny.
Yeah, just me. But like I don't know what it is. There's something funny about it, and I can't put my finger on it. It makes me laugh, but I don't know why. Do you guys get anything like that?
I like it. I do like memes because I see them like a Lego set for jokes that are free for everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's my favorite? I think it's Lord of the Rings memes. I think.
I've seen this one where it's like the size of Lord of the Rings, and like it's this thick book, and then there's another book next to it. It's a lot thicker, like more pages, and like Lord of the Rings if Merry and Pippin had a gun.
Hold on, let me get you guys up. I know this is pointless to the stream at all, but I'll say some Lord of the Rings memes. I think I've got the best ones.
No, I'm not bragging.
This is like drug dealing in the future.
Memes.
Where are we gonna get these memes? Oh, in chat.
Yeah, on Instagram chat.
Oh, are you putting it in a chat?
Yeah, I'm taking you both in.
Oh, right. Okay.
Good luck with the spam here, right? Because I've got hundreds.
I think. Let's see where this joins into. Is it going to come up in? It'll come up in. No, it won't come up in request, will it? That's one of the things, like, because you do it if you do it as like a team thing. I know it. Like Instagram has the whole like request section, and you have to approve it.
Yeah.
To know you've got it, but because you're added, I don't know if it'll do that. I don't know.
Maybe.
Have you sent it?
You follow me. I think it's.
Oh, are you sending it now, or did you say?
I'm collecting them together. I'm collecting them.
Oh right, okay, yeah. Oh god, like so.
Can't rush this. This has been in development for about a year and a half now.
That's quite a bit of a development. I was going to actually ask you, Martin. So like you like doing stand up as well, don't you?
Who told you?
Well,
Your Instagram page.
a little bear told me I killed it, but I got that information from it before I killed it. So, but yeah, it told me that you like to do stand up.
Yeah, it's actually why I use my real name, because the idea was like the comics promoting the stand-up and the stand-up promoting the comics, but I haven't been on stage in like 6 months because of
COVID, yeah.
And I'm also like always wanted to do international, like English stand-up, but I'm scared that my accent is just too strong to ever.
Not at all, man.
No, we've like understood you all the way through. I don't think we've once stopped you and going, sorry, what did you say? Like,
I know that, but it's like I don't think I'll ever have like a chance to do some big things, because like on TV or like doing shows, like I could never like go that stage because people would be like.
Oh, I think you could. There's a guy that regularly appears on Mock the Week and 8 out of 10 Cats, and he has what's his name? I'll try and find him for you. But he has almost a very similar accent to yourself. I'm trying to remember where he's from, but he has the same kind of like inflections and that, and he's very popular. England's very open to comedy wise.
I was going to say, like, more 9 times out of 10, like most of the comedians we like were from another country.
Oh, okay. No, but seriously, I was supposed to be like in London.
10 at a time. Damn it. There you go, guys.
Did I say something wrong? I'm sorry.
No, sorry.
There we go. Yeah, you got your memes. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Okay, to check this out. Oh, anyways, I was like wanted to come to London,
Yeah.
visit a friend. We had this like whole deal. I would be staying with him, helping him out with his business, and in the nighttime I would go do open mics to see if I actually had a decent shot
Yeah.
at making stand-up work. Because where I'm from a really, it's not a small town, but the comedy scene isn't existent. There is none.
Yeah.
So I can't really practice it. It would be like saying I go to the gym and people ask me, oh, how many times a week? And I say, no, once a month. And that just doesn't work. I'm just really striving for opportunity to do it like even daily, because I'm a huge narcissist and I would love the praise you get when you actually make people laugh.
Yeah, no, it is. I can understand. It's like a nice feeling, isn't it? When you've just, I don't know, a laugh again, like can change someone's day entirely. You know, just making a little shitty joke and making someone laugh, or you know, not saying that your jokes are shit. I'm just saying.
No, they are. Let's be honest.
Yeah. But like you know what I mean. Like you can make a joke, and even if again, like you know, it's. I mean, have you heard of a guy called Norm Macdonald?
Yes, he had old battle axe.
Oh god, I fucking love him. But he makes like his whole thing is like he makes bad jokes, but his whole thing is the delivery. Not the delivery, sorry. The journey. So he's all about telling, you know, to make it the whole thing funny and not just, you know, the end of it. And I completely like I like that kind of like style. So I think if you can make anyone laugh from, you know, like a single thing, you know, whether it is like the best joke in the world or whether it's just a silly joke, because it is down to it comes down to delivery in the journey, I think.
Yeah.
So I think again, yeah, I think you would do good. I think you do good in the UK. It's
I know. I first have to try, because can I guys test one of my closers that I usually use?
Oh yeah, go for it.
I mean, if Tom's okay, I don't want to be like
Yeah,
that.
of course.
So basically, I have this routine. Well, it's like a bit of dark comedy, and I ended like with what's called wait a minute, I need to translate. Not car insurance, driving exam.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it's like as the audience, if they pass their driving exam and they clap, so I asked them again, did you know that the ones who passed, the ones of you who passed, that you're actually better than Jesus? And there's like a lot of confusion, and I was like, okay, where is this going? And I'm like, yeah, Jesus had a lot of issues with the crossing, so.
I like it, yeah. It's one of those ones as well where I think it's gonna, like, some people will like love it immediately, and then you'll get the other like people that'll take a second to get it and be like, oh, you know, like
it's much stronger in creation because the wordplay is much more direct.
Yeah,
but I really like closing on that one.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's a good joke. I like it. It's like it reminds me of the old because you don't tend to always see it very much anymore. I think comedy's taken a bit of divergence in like recent years, but you don't get these like one-liners as much anymore. And it's like, I'm a big fan of, like, you know, one-liners just that can just make you laugh like that. I think it's good. So I do like that. It's good.
Yeah, I have one like that I really like, a one-liner. It's like sorry, I'm translating again as it.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's like the greatest problem at my home is basically that everything is really old and doesn't work properly. And I remember when we had to like plug out the microwave and Grandpa the same day.
Oh wow.
The silence there from Tom. Like, oh wow.
I like the snickering, the Tom snickering, like in the background.
I like it.
I enjoyed it.
Thank you, Tom. You're being very kind.
Yeah.
Validation is the best form of flattery.
You did good, son. You did
good.
Yeah.
You did a good job.
You made us proud. You made us. We'll go.
Yeah. But Anyway, yeah, I think what we should do is we've been going on for like an hour and 45 minutes now. I know the aim was to have roughly about an hour for the podcast, but this is equally good. This has been a lot of fun. I've enjoyed it. It's been class to like have you on and actually like talk to you in person, because we only really talk like every now and again through just quick messages on Twitter, or when they're doing like through a comic group on like Instagram. So it's good to actually finally get to properly
Yeah, it's
talk.
nice.
Yeah.
You have a very nice voice. I didn't manage to tell you that. You two both have.
Oh shucks!
No, seriously, you both two have very nice voices. I'm very self-conscious about my soft voice.
No,
man, you got a good voice. Like you got a very pronounced voice as well, which is good, because one of the things that I have a problem with is I slur, and some of my words get mixed together. So yeah, no, I could understand like everything. So man, like you don't need to be like conscious about your voice. You got a good voice.
Thank you.
You're better at English than 99% of the English people. So
Come on, Tom, get this guy, get him out of here.
Get out of here. Go on, get here.
you both got good podcast voices.
As do you, Tom. Oh.
Tom, your voice is beautiful. Please sing me. Sing me.
It was plucked from the ovaries of an angel. Oh.
Arigato.
Arigato. Thank you very much. But,
Jesus, that Volusidon meme. Jesus, Tom.
Damn. But yeah, so like to close it off, do you want to promote anything, Martin? Like
Do you have anything to promote? No. Tom, where do you work at? Let's promote that place. Go visit Tom.
Oh, I've just started my own OnlyFans. I think I should promote that a little bit.
Okay, Tom, give us the details.
I sell.
Don't be shy, boy.
Come
I
on.
want to see that mullet.
It's like OnlyFans, but it's like it's me just drinking beers and getting so fucking hammered that it just continues on until I do something really stupid. So it's called Only Cans.
Hey!
Hey.
But I like it. I knew that was coming as well, I was like, as soon as I heard it, that drinking, I was like, yeah. It was like, only cars, only cans.
Only cause, only.
But
I don't know.
yeah, like I mean, again, like for anyone that's listening, go check out Martin Rosner. Also, Hot Paper. I'm pretty sure you called Martin Rosner across the board now, though, aren't you?
Yeah. It's just the @ that's different, but it's always
Yeah.
Martin Rosner.
Yeah. So yeah, go check out Martin Rosner or Hot Paper in brackets. You'll find him on Instagram, Twitter, and all over the place.
OnlyFans.
Oh, no, OnlyFans as well, of course. OnlyCans.
I do have a Pornhub account. It's got Hot Paper Com XXX.
Nice.
Wait, I remember that. You put a comic out specifically for that, didn't you? Was that right?
No, actually, I paid a ad on Pornhub. Well, it was like this guy in a gentleman's attire saying, "Oh no, you could use your post-nut clarity to check out some fine comics, young sir."
Did you get much from it? Oh no, you did, didn't you? Didn't you get some like push through from it?
I don't remember like really how big it was, but I remember it was shown at least 1 million times to people.
That's amazing. I do remember because you was talking about that in the comic chat.
They all
wasn't
had
you?
their dick out at the same time.
No, I'm gonna do that next time.
I've seen it with their dicks out. They had their dick in their hand.
Which makes it all the more memorable.
I mean, I don't want to be sexist here, but it could be the other way around. It could be definitely like.
Yeah, they could have their dick in their feet.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Just like someone's dick in their face. There was a dick involved. That's all we need to know. 1 million dicks in their hands.
1 million dicks in hands.
What should I say?
Yeah.
You had 100 million dicks in your hands. You did that. Be proud.
It's like a medieval rain of arrows. It's just 1,000 dicks.
Just 1 million dicks.
Basically, you were the ultimate cock blocker.
No, I was only cock blocking the Brazers ads.
Nobody
goes to Pornhub to jerk off to the Brazers ads. I mean, I used to sometimes when there's nothing good, but come on.
Maybe they'd already finished. Maybe the juice was already on the screen.
Couldn't really see it quite
They
clearly.
couldn't even see the ad because there was just shit on the screen.
It's like, oh, I gotta get my cream out.
That's the noise that they said when they read your comics.
Why don't you come and then come and read some comics?
Nice.
it would have been good if your comic that it promoted was about infertility and the inability to ejaculate. So it just took them on this like complete loop back to that, and they're like, oh.
That would be kind of mean. Oh, what you doing?
Yeah,
Here,
it would be a bit. It'd be a bit.
Reduction pill.
It would be a bit cruel, yeah. I'd be on it, yeah. But again, yeah. But I think again, like that's a good note to leave it on. 1 million dicks in hands.
1 million dicks.
I think we yeah. So yeah, I think we'll leave it there. But thank you very much for joining us, Martin. Again, like we'd love to have you on again at some point. Discuss further on maybe 2 million dicks in hands. You know.
Yeah, I'll be a better man then.
Yeah.
Come back to me when you've got 2 million dicks, right?
I'll if I ever
Payment in
make
a
it.
million dicks.
Look, if I ever bring out even a single dick to the United Kingdom, I'll let you guys know.
Bring that single dick to
yeah.
Hopefully it'll be mine.
The UK misses it. It needs it. It's
I'm just gonna get a dick in a box, aren't I?
A dick in a box.
Guys, you're showing your age there with these.
What?
Old-
Yeah. I know. Oh god, what a ridiculous end.
Let's end this like a boss.
Yeah, let's end this. Right, we should end it on a no. Let's harmonise a word. What should we harmonise? Right, we're gonna say Pornhub, and we're gonna do it all on 1, 2, 3. So after 3, we gotta go Pornhub. Ready?
Yeah, ready.
1, 2, 3.
Pornhub.
Pornhub.